Good afternoon there, horse racing fans, and welcome back to my first Cheltenham Festival anti-post video of the year. We're within 6 weeks and we are getting ever closer. The market, the value is going down more and more, so I thought I'd get 4 bets in now as we're within 6 weeks of the festival. Maybe 1 or 2 of these I'll be running in the next couple of weeks as well, so I'm hopefully trying to get some value. I've got 4 horses that I've put into a small stake, lucky 15 each way. They're all relatively big price, so we wouldn't need too many winners to have a very nice return. But before we get into the 4 bets for the festival, do make sure to join my Discord group. It's ever growing. We're getting towards 280 members, which, to say we started this a month ago, must say something. The people are joining, and make sure to get involved. We are doing a betting train as well. We started with £5. We're looking at turning it into £100. We had £5 turned into £10.50 yesterday. We had £10.50 turned into £27.57p today, and tomorrow we're going to go and look to get above that £50 mark and close in on the £100 just from a £5 bet to begin with. The link for that is in the description. It's just a link to my Discord group, which is ever growing. Do make sure to get involved. But on to today's bets. Fakir Dudoi 10-1 for the Ryanair is the first bet. I think he's a horse that is very much underrated. He would have been probably a 4 or 5 time Grade 1 winner if it wasn't for Allaho, and I don't think Allaho turns up in this race. He hasn't been seen all season. Is he going to run fresh first time out in the Ryanair at the Cheltenham Festival? That seems a little bit far-fetched. Willie Mullins tried to do it last year with Appreciator in the Champion Hurdle, and he got smoked. He finished 6th or 7th. He was beaten by Glory and Fortune and other modest horses. So I think Willie Mullins has a thought in the back of his mind of, is this going to work turning him up first time out? We might see him later on in the season, maybe at Aintree or maybe back in Ireland. But I think Fakir Dudoi at 10-1, he's a definite 2.5 miler. Some of these horses in the race, like maybe Blue Lord or Shishkin, will be stepping up in this trip for one of the first times, and there might be a better 2 miler. And likewise, you've got horses stepping down from 3 miles to 2.5 miles for easier options like Conflated. Fakir Dudoi is not one of them. He's an out and out 2.5 miler. He's had a decent second this season behind Galopin de Champs, and then he won just a couple of weeks ago. He probably was lucky to win. Hatton Colos did fall at the last, but I think he was definitely coming in that race, and he's one to take out of that. I think he's going to be primed for the festival, and at 10-1, if he turns up on the day without Allaho, I don't see how he's much bigger than a 4-5-1 shot. So there definitely is some potential value there if things go as planned for Fakir Dudoi, and not as planned for the horses, which I don't think it will, because I do not think Allaho will be in this race. Is far too short at even money in the market as well. So Fakir Dudoi at 10-1 in the Ryanair for me. Next up in the Triumph Hurdle is a horse that we saw win at the weekend, Comfort Zone for JP McManus, and this horse did win quite well, I thought. Scriptwriter got first run of the race, and Comfort Zone had to sit and suffer. He couldn't get out until the last, and he had the run, and he didn't have the rail as well. Scriptwriter is a very good horse. Comfort Zone went past, and I think he was going away at the line. I think he was much the best horse. Them two pulled clear enough of the horses in behind. They was both carrying £5 penalties for winning a Grade 2 last time out as well. So this horse has shown he's got the speed, which he showed at the Turner Foot after the last. He showed he's got the stamina at Chepstow when winning over 2 miles in very heavy conditions. He jumps well enough, and I think there's lots to like about this horse. I mean, of course there's the Willie Mullins Battalion, a lot shorter in the market, but a few of them are going to have a very tough race at the Dublin Racing Festival, where Lossiemouth, Blood Destiny and a few others will meet. They're going to have tough races. Comfort Zone, I think he won without the toughest race of all time. I think he's definitely going to run in the Triumph for JP McManus. He just loves festival winners. He's going to try and win the Triumph. And John Joe O'Neill Jr. has got on very well with this horse. They're a good partnership, and in a Triumph I can just see him sitting in 4th or 5th, jumping well, and he does have that turn of foot to quicken. I mean, is he going to beat Lossiemouth? Probably not, but could he be best of the rest? I think he could be. So comfort zone in the Triumph Hurdle at 10-1 is going to be my next bet. Next horse comes for Willie Mullins in the Hunter's Chase, Billawate. He's a yardstick in this type of horse. He always runs in it, and he always runs well enough. He likes the extended 3 mile 2 furlongs. He's got form figures of second when he was beating a short head, and he won this race last year. He just got up. He was about 10 lengths down jumping 2 out, but he just galloped them into the ground. He's a strong stayer, and look, his comeback wasn't the best, but if you look at his form, he never wins on his comeback run, and he usually has had a few runs by this point of the season. But I just think he's had one run. He got the win, got the second place under his belt. He wasn't given the toughest of time when beaten. Watching that race in reflection, an extra 2 furlongs if he comes on fitness-wise, and he does need to sharpen up his jumping. He doesn't jump too well, but he stays all day. And the big factor for him is he's going to definitely have Patrick Mullins on at the Cheltenham Festival, which in an amateur jockey's race probably gains a couple of lengths at least on 90% of the other jockeys. So I think come the day of the race, this horse is going to be primed for this. He might have one more run just to blow away the cobwebs. Then third time out, he should be all set to run a huge race in the Hunter's Chase. So Billawate at 9-1, he definitely is another one, probably like Fakir Dudori on the day. He probably doesn't go off much bigger than 5-1 if he goes off bigger than 5-1. So he's one decent horse to put in lucky 15s, especially each way, because he's going to run his race for you. Whether he's good enough to win, he is getting slightly older, that is another question, but he can at least run well. And on to the final selection to complete the lucky 15. This is a big priced horse, and a horse that a lot of people have written off. American Mike, 20-1 for the Ballymore. Now, a lot of people are thinking, what am I talking about? But I think there's a lot of comparisons you can make between American Mike and Envar Alan, who won this race for the same trainer, Gordon Elliott, just a couple of years ago. Both of them had very good bumper form. Of course, Envar Alan won the champion bumper. American Mike finished second behind Facile Vega. He's stepped up in trip, 2 miles 6 furlongs on his hurdles debut, and he made a terrible mistake with 2 or 3 to jump. Then he showed the speed to get back into contention, and he won going away. At the end of the day, it wasn't the best performance on debut, but it also showed a lot of promise. And the second horse of Gavin Cromwell's was and has been a decent horse since he's come out and won impressively since. So the form of that worked out well. He then dropped down to 2.5 miles and probably got involved in a little bit of a speed contest out in front. He's not the fastest horse of all times, and I just think that probably he was out of his comfort zone for most of the trip, and I think he had the better of the horse that he was in the speed duel with when the other horse fell at the last. I think he was going to finish in front, and there was a horse, a JP McManus horse, ridden by Mark Walsh, that came from well off the pace, 10-15 lengths behind, and he just picked him up. And American Mike finished a very tired horse that day, but I think that was probably a sharp enough 2.5 miles for him. He's had a lot of time off since then. He's had well over 2 months off the track, and he's running back at the Dublin Racing Festival, 2 miles 6 furlongs. It's a strong race, but again, he has received some market support. He was kind of 5-11-2 in places. He's now into 9-2, 4-1 in places. I think the break will have done him the world of good, and like Envar Alan, he's probably not the most flashiest from what we've seen over hurdles, but Gordon Elliott knows how to get him right for the big occasion. I expect him to run well enough at the Dublin Racing Festival, and then with that experience under his belt, if he does turn up in the Ballymore, he'll be at least half the price. I think, look, even if you look at his bumper form, you've got to be a forgiving person, but the bumper form was very impressive. He hasn't done it over hurdles yet, but he's jumped well enough on occasions to see why there's no reason why he couldn't be a decent hurdler in time. The Ballymore doesn't look the strongest race of all time yet. The 2 mile 5 furlong trip will suit. It'll be a test on stamina, which will also suit, and he's probably going to have Davy Russell riding him, which can't be a bad thing at all. So 20-1, I'm not sure if he's going to go in the Ballymore or maybe the Albert Bartlett, more of a trip, which might suit him, but I just think he has been a Ballymore horse. I thought it after the bumper last season. You've got to be forgiving after his latest hurdles run, but he's had some time off the track. He's a tall horse. Hopefully he's filled into his form, and I think at 20 to 1 it's a stab in the dark, but is very much worth a little bet. So I put these all in an acca, lucky 15 each way, just a 15p stake, so the total bet was £4.50, and the returns on this is £5,281. So look, it's a little fun bet. It's a stab in the dark, but the returns could be very impressive, so it's well worth a go in my book. These are probably my 4 best anti-post bets at each way prices. So that's all from me. Thanks a lot. We will have more videos on Cheltenham as we get ever closer. Don't forget to join my Discord group, follow me on Twitter, etc, etc. All the links will be in the description down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.